Hello students, I am here with another video from the chapter of class 7th Science NCERT book, that is chapter number 18, Wastewater Story. Before starting today's video, I would like to tell you all that till now what all things we have discussed in this chapter. So we have discussed about the word wastewater. So it means that it is the water which is coming out from the drains of different places, like it is coming out from the drains of houses, factories, offices, schools, or any other place where the water is being used. Okay. Now, water, once we are using the pure water, it becomes dirty after use. We are washing hands, then it becomes dirty. We are taking bath, then it becomes dirty. So we are using the clean water, but after the use, after we are using it, it becomes the dirty water, and it is also known as the wastewater. Now we are studying about the story of this wastewater. It means that from where is this wastewater coming and where is it going, and what is happening to this wastewater. Is this going to be used in the form of a good manner, or it is just wasted like that? Okay, so we are seeing that this wastewater could be utilized by after treating it. So how we are treating it? We are treating it in the factories. The name of these special factories are known as the wastewater treatment plants. We cannot say that it is in a closed area, but it is in a very large space where the different machines are being set up. There are different systems which are being set up in the sequence, where they have different tanks, and then the water is moving from one tank to another tank, and it is getting cleaned up. So we have discussed about the way by which the water is getting cleaned. Okay, then after that we have also discussed about the fact that how this clean water is going to be passed into the river. Then if it is being passed into the river, then what happens, and if it is going to be present in the distribution system, then what happens. So we have also seen about the sewage, what is it, how it is being formed, and also we have seen about uh, the components of sewage, I must say. Okay, sewage. So it consists of the bacteria, saprophytes, nutrients, disease causing agents, then organic and inorganic impurities, together with the microorganisms and the other living organisms. Then after that we studied about this sewerage systems as well as the treatment plants. Okay, so we know that now wastewater treatment plant involves three steps, that is physical, chemical, and biological treatment, where the physical treatment is given to the wastewater which is passing from the bar screens, because of which the bigger particles of the water gets bigger particles which are present, like impurities which are present in the wastewater, is getting it is getting stopped at one place. So this is what is about the bar screens. It is made up of the bars, means it is made from the help of with the help of the iron rods, and that is what is known as the bar. Okay, so next part is that it is going to be passed into the different tanks, but where the sand and grit removal tank is there. Then after that it passed to the skimmers, it passed to the it is going to pass from the aerobic as well as anaerobic respiring bacteria were also interacting. Then sludge was prepared. What was happening to that sludge is utilized as a manure in the fields. Then we saw that ozone and the chemicals like chlorine is being added to the clarified water, and then it is going to be thrown into the river, or it is going to be used in the distribution system. It is coming back in the distribution system. Okay, so next, this is how water is getting recycled. This wastewater is also being utilized by different treatment methods. Okay, then after that we have also seen about how we can do better housekeeping practices, and we can also follow these rules, and then we can find out why these chemicals and solvents, insecticides, the food remains, then the impurities are going to be impacting the wastewater. So children, we can find out the better housekeeping practices could be solving the problem of having a less amount of waste to be generated, waste product to be generated. Okay, then we have seen that we can see that the oxygen the circulation of oxygen is being stopped once the waste material is getting accumulated in the different parts of this wastewater. So next we discussed about the sanitation and disease, where we saw that both these words, that is sanitation and disease, both of them are just complementary names, where these both have the connection, that they have the direct connection. Like if there is no cleanliness, if there is no sanitation in the place, then what would happen? The disease could be caused. So disease is only going to get it is going to be caused because when the poor sanitation and contaminant drinking water is present. Okay, so if poor drinking water, if this this sanitation is there and the good quality of drinking water is not available, then what happens? Most of the diseases are going to cause because of this fact. Then after that we discussed about that there are large fraction of our people who defecate in open. Okay, then we saw that untreated human excreta is again a health hazard. It is the danger to the health. Okay, now what danger it is going to cause? It is going to cause the danger like waterborne disease would be developed in different places and different communities where these things are being practiced. It is going to be diseased very frequently. Okay, then after that we saw that there are many water pollution and soil pollution also is being caused. So this causes the human excreta, which is going to affect the environment in a very adverse manner, where it could give rise to the water pollution as well as soil pollution both. Then after that, then next what happens, that both the surface water and the groundwater gets polluted. How the surface water and groundwater gets polluted? The surface water and the groundwater gets polluted, children, because the whenever the rainfall is happening or it is going to mix with the water, then what, where is this water going? Ultimately this water is going inside the underground. Okay, it is going and mixing with the underground water because of infiltration. This we know it very well. Now because of the infiltration of the bad water is taking place, it means that it is going to pollute the groundwater. It is going to cause the ill effect in the, it is going to lower the quality of the groundwater. Okay, the next is the groundwater is a source of water in the wells, tube wells and the springs. Fine, so it means that directly or indirectly it is getting polluting, it is polluting the groundwater, and since it is polluting the groundwater, it is going to pollute the other sources like the rivers, sorry, it is going to pollute the wells and the tube wells, because these are again connected with the groundwater. Okay, so because of this condition, we should always think of using the good quality of sanitation. Okay, good quality of sanitation should be there. Then only we could be having, we would be free from diseases. Okay, we would be free from disease. So if good quality of sanitation practices is happening, then we would be free from the diseases. Now next thing is that the many rivers and many rivers are also getting polluted because of the waste being thrown into it. So ultimately we are polluting the water. Fine, and then it becomes the most common route for the waterborne disease. So waterborne disease is going to be caused. It is the main cause of waterborne disease. Okay, so next thing is that the waterborne disease includes cholera. Okay, it includes cholera, it includes typhoid, it includes polio, it includes meningitis, okay, it includes hepatitis, and also it includes dysentery. Okay, so these are the main causes of these many waterborne disease directly. Because the waterborne disease is directly related with the contaminated water, and if it is contaminated with the human feces or any kind of other impurities like chemicals, or it could be other oils, or any of the organic or inorganic impurities present, if it is present in the form of the contaminated water, then what happens? It is going to be the root cause of waterborne disease like cholera, typhoid, polio. Meningitis is also having meningitis means it is related with the brain, where the layers of the brain is known as, it is covered with the three layers of the brain is covered with the three layers actually. So this is, each of the layer is said to be as a meninges. So here infection in the meninges layer is taking place, infection in the meninges taking place, which is known as meningitis, where the brain fever also occurs. Okay, the next is hepatitis, which is a disease of the liver, which is going to cause the symptom for this hepatitis is the jaundice. Then because of the jaundice, what happens, the complete body becomes yellow because our liver is not functioning properly, and it is going to be later, it becomes a very serious disease called hepatitis. Okay, it could be fatal also, it could take away the lives of the people. Then dysentery is again the last waterborne disease, because of which the water is getting polluted and it causes the dysentery, which is also it is also in common language it is said to be as the diarrhea. Okay, so this is all about the ways by which sanitation and disease is directly interrelated. Then we will see, understood, we are going to see about the alternative methods of arrangements for sewage disposal. So what are the alternative methods of sewage disposal? So to improve sanitation and low cost on-site sewage disposal system are being encouraged. So what does this mean? It means that improved sanitation and low cost on-site sewage. So what is this on-site sewage disposal system? It means that from where is the sewage being generated, there only it would be disposed. It means that where suppose that the sewage is being it is produced from somewhere, and then and there only the treatment is being done. So this is known as on-site disposal, on-site sewage disposal. Okay, then what happens? It is being encouraged. For example, the septic tanks, chemical toilets, composting pits are being made. So these are the three methods. What are the three methods of on-site sewage disposal system? So for good sanitation, what can we do? We can have different modern methods of sanitation, like the on-site sewage disposal system. Okay, now which includes septic tanks. Okay, it also includes the chemical toilets. It also includes composting pits. Okay, now what are these? So these are the good improvement in the sanitation could happen if we are practicing these kinds of things. So on-site sewage disposal means wherever the sewage is being generated, there only it is being treated. It is going to be produced in the form. It is going to be recycled in the form of less polluted material. Okay, now how this could be done? This could be done because of these three methods. Septic tanks are being made. Then if the it is this septic tank means it is a pit like thing is made which is being attached with the toilets. Okay, where the different compartments are there, and if the long a very huge means a very big well is being made, then all the impurities are being added here. Once this gets filled up, then it remains there, the anaerobic condition remains every time. So because of the presence of the anaerobic condition, the things which are present here, the waste which is present over here in the septic tank, gets converted in the form of the manure. Okay, so this could be taken out from time to time, and then it could be utilized. Fine. Now after that, what happens, where septic tanks are sometimes available, these septic tanks are made at the places where the large sewage pipes are not being they are not being I mean, these tanks are being made where the sewage things are not being generated. I mean, sewage is not going to be placed. Sewers are not going to be placed. Means larger pipes could not enter on those because see, people are not only living on the roads. Okay, I mean, they are not living near the roads where the big pipes of sewers could be present or they are at that in the area where the people are living in a very congested manner, then where what happens, where the roads are not that big that sewers could be laid down. So in those cases, the septic tanks are being made. So septic tanks means that they are the tanks where the suitable places are not the suitable places for the sewerage system is not there. Then for the hospitals or isolated buildings or the cluster of 4 to 5 houses, so what happens, 4 to 5 houses are being connected to one septic tanks where all the impurities, all the contaminants which are being generated from these 4 5 houses is coming in this one septic tank, and then after that, after some time, it is getting recycled and it is being used. Then some of the organizations offer hygienic on-site human waste disposal technology. These toilets do not require scavenging means cleaning, so automatic cleaning is being done. Where the human excreta is being converted in the form of the good manure, okay, or it could be converted in the form of the good quality of the biodegradable substance, and then it could be utilized some other ways, okay. Then excreta on the toilet seats flow through the covered drains into the biogas plant, so it is being attached with the biogas plant where the biogas is being generated because of the anaerobic bacteria which are present in those biogas plants, which are going to consume these waste material and convert them in the form of the manure. And also they are going to convert, they are going to release the gas which is known as the biogas, and this biogas is utilized for the source of energy. It is utilized as a source of energy, okay. So suppose that here this is being a condition where anaerobic respiration is taking place inside this place. Now this is going to generate the biogas. This biogas is being supplied, it is being circulated in the distribution system within the public, where the biogas could be used in the form of the source of energy, where the large sewers are not going to be laid down. So these are the alternative arrangements for sewage disposal, where these kinds of low cost materials could be made, low cost arrangements could be done, okay. So in this manner, the alternative arrangements could also take place, because of which the pollution could be reduced, okay. Now sanitation at public places in our country, fairs are organized periodically. Fairs means mela, okay. So these are being organized very frequently, fine. Then gathering of people are there, okay. Then after that, what happens, a large number of people participate in them. In the same manner, railway stations are there, bus depots are there, then airports are there, hospitals are there. These are very busy places, children, okay. So if they're very busy, it means that thousands of people are visiting daily in these areas. So a large amount of waste is being generated here. Now what is being done, if the it must be disposed of properly, otherwise epidemic could break out, because these places are very busy and many people are going to come and go in these places. So what happens, this place should remain clean, and if most of the waste are being generated and it is not going to be cleaned properly, then it could be the root cause of many fatal diseases, okay. So one must be very careful regarding these practices which could be done in these places which are very busy, okay. Then next thing, the government has laid down the certain standards of sanitation, but unfortunately they are not strictly being enforced, okay. Then it is actually, this is directly related with a good practice of the citizens. Suppose that we all when we travel in the bus or a train, then what do generally the small kids who are eating those eatables and which are present in the packets, where are they going to throw? They are throwing here and there in the bus, train, or outside the window. So suppose that from a railway track, the not only one train is moving, there are hundreds of trains which are moving on one railway track, if you count for 1 month or 1 year or several years it is being running. So what happens, when you are throwing the waste outside the window, then where is it going? It is going on the floor, okay. It is going on the ground, and where it is, what it is going to do, the plastics are there, the packets of the chips, of the packets of the wrappers of the toffees, or biscuits, or any other snack could be there. So what happens, it is going to pollute the ground, it is going to pollute the soil, it is ultimately getting mixed in the soil. So one must not do such kinds of acts, because there are certain, see, in the In the trains also nowadays dustbins are already present, so we should all throw the waste there in the dustbins rather to throw them here and there. Okay, so one must not litter anywhere. One must be very careful regarding all these good practices, and then only you would become a good citizen. See children, cities could not be made smart until and unless the people are practicing smartly all the things. Okay, so I think that the cities itself, the buildings are not making it smart. Please remember, it is a citizen, the people, those who are living in that particular place, and they are living in a very smart conditions. Like and what is that smart condition? Not in your looks, not in your the way of living. It's not like it's not that. The way by which you behave with the other person, the way by which you are behaving with the nature and in the surroundings. So all these things are making you smart. Please remember. Okay, you are wearing a very good clothes, and you are putting very, I mean, you're living in a very big house, and you are just having all the facilities in your house, but still you are traveling. When you are while traveling, you're throwing the wrappers outside the window of your vehicle, of your car. That doesn't look nice, and that is not going to make you a smart person. So please practice all these things which is being designed for your benefit. See, suppose just think of for one situation. We are sitting in a bus, we are sitting in a train, we are traveling there, and if you're littering over there itself, you're eating the things and you're throwing the things just under the seat. Who is going to be affected? You only are going to be affected, because ultimately we are sitting in that particular place for some time, for some hours, and then only if these insects are not going to be they are not knowing whether you are littering in your home, or whether it is being done in the public places, or whether it is being done in the on the stations, or in the inside the trains, or anywhere wherever you are sitting. So these insects are not knowing, they are going and they are going to accumulate, they are going to form their groups, they are going to cause disease anywhere wherever the waste materials are present. Okay, so wherever the pollutants are present, the insects or the other all those things which are going to cause the diseases could be there if you are not practicing these things properly. Okay, so however, if all of us can contribute in sustaining this sanitation at public places, then only we can also then only we can become a good citizen, and then only we can find that the disease free city is being created and under the good sanitation system. Okay, because the health of the people would improve if in a particular place the good quality of sanitation is being practiced. Okay, next, what is being done? However, all of us can contribute in maintaining the sanitation at public places. Then we should not scatter litter anywhere. I'm just repeating it again and again. If there is no dustbin in the site, it means that you are not able to see the dustbins. Okay, suppose that you are moving, if you are going for a picnic in the place where a lawn is there, or an open field is there, you're not able to find the dustbins there. ठीक है? You're looking here and there, you're not finding dustbin. Then what you are going to do? You're going to throw the waste there only. But don't do such kinds of things. If there is no dustbin in your site, then you must collect it at one place, or collect that waste in one way. I mean, you take one polythene bags or disposable bags where you could add all those waste material in it, and then wherever you find the dustbins, you can just throw it off. Okay, similarly, I always tell students also in the school, in the class, then if you are going to throw the waste just under your table, then what would happen? You are only getting bitten by the mosquitoes. Okay, so they are going to come, the flies are going to come here and there. Okay, so please don't litter inside the classroom. When the dustbin is already present there, you should throw the waste in the dustbins. You are not sitting in the dustbin, isn't it? So don't make your classroom as a dustbin. The dustbin is inside the classroom. Your classroom is not a dustbin. Please remember this fact. I always keep on repeating this line to my students, that the classroom is not a dustbin. We are not sitting in a dustbin. Dustbin is inside the class, isn't it? We are not inside the dustbins. So please remember that we have to follow the practice. We have to follow those rules which is being made to make our place clean where we are sitting. So what we should do, if we are not able to find the dustbins, you should just collect the things at one carton or any in the polythene bag or anywhere. You could collect it somewhere. Okay, then you could, wherever you find a dustbin, you can throw there. Okay, then after that what you have to do is then carry the litter to your home and throw it in the dustbins. Okay, either you should carry it to your home and then you should throw it in the dustbins. Use the dustbins. Okay, don't make your house, your surrounding feel that you are creating it in a you are creating a dustbin over there. Okay, now what conclusion do you recollect from this chapter? We all have a role to play in keeping our environment clean and healthy. You all means we all are having the role in cleaning the city, in cleaning the surrounding. We are just forget about city. If we are cleaning our surrounding, ultimately your surrounding would be clean. If your surrounding is clean, then your city would be clean. If your city is clean, if all the people think in the same manner, then all the cities would be clean, which makes state clean, which make our country clean. Okay, so what happens, the cleanliness is the job of the people, those who are living. We should, if once what happens, the things are being used in a proper manner, we should all learn how to use them properly to make our environment clean and healthy. Okay, we can make our environment clean and healthy. One must realize the responsibility in maintaining the water source in the healthy state. Please remember, the natural resources are very precious. All the natural resources, all the natural resources are very precious to us. Whether it is water, we have already studied I mean, what value it is having in our life. Without water, we cannot live. The air, the soil, the forest, the wild animals. Okay, all these are the natural resources, and all of them are very important for the living being. Okay, so one must maintain the quality of the water, air, soil, and the living forest, means plants and the animals. Okay, one must not contaminate these places, because we are living ultimately because of these natural resources only. If these natural resources get exhausted because of the overuse, because of the dirty, because of the just adding litter to it, or because of the pollution, then there would be a very much big problem for us for the survival also. Okay, so this is a very fact kind of thing. One must understand that one must not do any kind of bad things with these natural resources which are life supporting. It should not become life threatening. Okay, now next is that adopting good sanitation practice should be a way of our life. Means everywhere, anywhere you go, you must practice the good sanitation practices. Okay, as an agent of change, your individual initiative would make a great difference. Yes, this is what is a line you should all understand, that from one, see, we say that from drop one big vessel is being filled, isn't it? Isn't it? It is a saying that boon boon se ghada bharta hai, isn't it? What is that? If we are practicing individually, if all the children of our school is going to practice the things that we have to use the dustbins, we have to keep our class clean, then what would happen? If we are not throwing waste, ultimately it is not going to be dirty, isn't it? Because the cleanliness is being done in, I mean, the cleaning of the places are being done, but we are the people those who are just littering over there, and then what happens? Again the things become same. Fine. So one must maintain the hygienic conditions everywhere, wherever you are using the property. Okay, where it is, whether it is your school, whether it is your home, whether it is your workplace, whether it is your public place, you should all maintain the things. Okay, then it is a individual initiative which make a great difference. Just remember. Okay, now influence others with your energy, ideas, and optimism. You should all influence. Like, for example, if nowadays, see what happens when I go to the market, I always carry the this cloth bag in my, it is always present with me. Okay, I mean, it is always present in my bag. So what happens, whenever I take the things from market, I always use my carry bag to bring those things. Okay, please carry a jute bag, please carry the cloth bag in your play in your hand whenever you are going out for a market. Don't just carry lots and lots of polythene bags. Ultimately we are throwing it in the dustbin, and what happens to it? It is going to pollute wherever it is going to be thrown. Whether it is thrown in the soil, it creates soil pollution. If it is being thrown in the water, it creates water pollution. If it is burnt, it creates air pollution. So we should not use such kinds of things. We have already discussed them in the past classes, also in the class 6th also. We all know that we should not use these things because it could not be recycled. A lot can be done if people work together. The great power of collective action is there. Okay, now the last saying which is given in your book is being said. This last line is being said by Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi said, no one need to wait for anyone else to adopt a human and enlightened course of action. Yes, we should not wait for the others to start with a solution. We must start getting solutions to these problems ourselves. Okay, we can only initiate, then only it could be initiated everywhere. Fine. So individual difference makes a lot. So please remember this saying, and I hope that you all have understood this lesson now properly. We'll discuss the question answers part, the exercises part in the next video, children. And with this positive thought that one must not uh, pollute the natural resources, one must take care of yourself as well as your surrounding. With this great thought, I'm going to end today's video, children. I'll come up with another video in which I will be discussing the question answers and exercises part. So that's all for today's video, and I'll meet you all in the next video with the next topic to be discussed.